And we're live. Very good. So, welcome everyone to the second episode, or maybe third, second, maybe whatever. Welcome to this episode of of the Couch Cricketer. Um, we've been recording a bunch of podcasts now, so I kind of lost count there a little bit, but fine. No, so today's episode, again, I'm joined by my co-host Satish, aka the Mayor of Hendon, aka the Indian Jack Leach. Actually, you're not Indian Jack Leach today, by the way. You're missing your glasses.
Well,
There we go. And yeah, so we're gonna do a quick show, just a preview on the fourth test between India and England tomorrow at Ahmedabad at the same stadium as the last time. We're gonna just have a bit of a discussion in terms of teams, any possible changes to the teams. What do we expect the pitch to be like, and perhaps just a couple of expectations in terms of what it means to each of the teams. Perhaps if there's been a lot of interviews and so on, press conferences and so on, with what a win would look like for Joe Root. Kohli's made a bunch of statements and so on. So why don't we start off with current status, Satish? What do you think? How do you think the teams are feeling at the moment? Let's start with England. How do you think England's feeling at the moment? Knowing what they know now about the pitch and how do you think they're what do you think the pulse is in the camp?
I think they're going to come out swinging, as they say. They're just going to. I think they need to use their feet, just step out and take the ball. Again, if you take it before it bounces, again, some ways it's kind of helpful. But to be honest with you, I think if England were to win this match and draw the series, I think it should be considered almost akin to a victory, because they literally they've been back to the walls. It's been almost difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine the same English team, the first test, when they literally kind of ruled the roost. They literally kind of lorded over the Indians.
Yeah.
But again, having said that, again, it's not going to be easy, because they are expecting demons in the wicket already, and I don't think the new wicket that they're going to bat on is going to be any play on. Is going to be any. I think it's going to be slightly different, but it's going to be a kind of a cousin of the one we saw for the last one. The expectation is that the match goes on for at least 3 days.
I hope so. Well, that'll take us to what Saturday at least, so we get to watch a little bit of cricket on the weekend. If not, it's going to be a boring ass weekend again, like it was last weekend, I guess. But yeah, I mean, so no, that's good summary on the England camp. So what do you reckon about the Indian side though? How do you think? Obviously, they're on a high. They've won two tests back to back. You reckon they'll make any changes or stick with the same team? What do you think?
I think they don't need that many pacers. One guy is more than enough. Again, Ishant or Bumrah, and just get in another spinner to kind of at least share the load. Get Sundar in there if you don't want to get Kuldeep Yadav, and get Sundar in there, who at least can turn his arm over for a few overs as a change. But I think the batting is going to be pretty the same. I don't think you're going to see any changes. Because why would they change anything that works?
Yeah, I think they've got a pretty good established batting lineup. They don't need to experiment with much. They don't need to try any new combinations. I think they're looking pretty good batsman wise. I would say drop Bumrah and bring in Kuldeep as another spinner. I mean, you're right. Maybe you need. I mean, Ishant to open up the pace bowling. You don't really need another pacer on the other side. Again, it depends on what comes out wicket wise. They don't. I mean, if they drop Bumrah and keep Ishant, I mean, there really is only one one seamer on the entire side. It's one seamer and four spinners, I guess. Which probably, I don't know. I mean, seeing as Bumrah didn't even pick up the ball once in the second innings of the third test, I'm thinking they might save him for the white ball series. Bumrah is usually a death bowler in the T20 and comes out leading the attack in one day. So maybe they might save him for that. I don't know, but I think batting wise, if it's the same wicket, if it's a similar wicket, let's say similar kind of pitch, similar kind of destruction is in the word, but similar kind of aging, let's say, of the pitch. I hope that whoever wins the toss and whoever bats first actually makes use of it, because come day 3, it's probably going to be like that video that Michael Vaughan tweeted today.
Yeah.
It probably really is going to end up like that.
It's going to be on a similar keel on the third, fourth day. Imagine the
Yeah.
fifth day.
Oh, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. But yeah, I kind of hope. I want to see more cricket. I want to see more Test cricket. Because it's been a while. I mean, that first test was good. The second test was good. Third one just kind of killed the spirit a little bit. So I hope they can bring it back.
I hope that too.
Do you reckon? I mean, it's typically the case that whoever wins the toss has a bat first. But do you think it's any different here? Do you think whoever wins the toss should have a ball? What do you think? I mean, I'm only asking because the pitch is pretty unpredictable at the moment, considering how it went the last time.
But I have a feeling that maybe the wicket's not going to be exactly the same as what we saw in the third test. It's going to be, okay, people are defending it, but it's still going to be come out of the wicket that's going to be slightly bit more better, because if this wicket ends up being the same as the third one, there is going to be an official complaint.
And it's not going to go down well. Although Kohli came out saying, I don't know why everybody's talking about the wicket, why they're talking about the ball. You know, this is, you know, batsmen, we just didn't bat well. You know, it was a complete failure of defensive technique. And again, there's been a lot of discussion on this one too. One thing that kind of stood out to me though, and I always kind of thought about this past back in, you know, the early mid 2000s when T20 first started becoming a thing. I always I didn't really like is in the word. I mean, I didn't really feel very strongly about T20 cricket, and I still don't. And it's because sometimes I feel there's no art to coming out and swinging. And I'm not saying that's all they do. Obviously, there is some technique. There is some technique to it. You play an aggressive style of cricket. There's skill to it. But there's something elegant about watching Test cricket. And in watching a Test batsman, there's something really, really elegant about it. And one thing that Kohli said in his press conference was that, you know, the rapid change between red ball and white ball cricket, and even within white ball going from 50 overs to T20, your mindset kind of changes, and maybe they're not spacing out the tournaments enough to allow batsmen to kind of get into that rhythm and play defensively. You know, when it comes to red ball cricket, I don't know, but I really want to see more defensive work, more, you know, more tactical skill against Akshar Patel, because he's going to come out and he's going to bowl exactly the same darts that he did in the third test. I mean, let's not make any mistake. I hope these guys have watched the videos. They've learned a little bit how to read what he's doing and cover their off stump. For crying out loud, I hope they cover their off stump.
The thing is, it's a T20 line. Again, these guys are experts, so they'll probably step out. Just think, the point is, again, though you talk about the difference being white ball, red ball, and all that, but there are these players who can play in all formats. I think it's just about you believing that there needs to be a change in strategy. You don't have to, case in point, that Sehwag did not change his game for any format. That's how he played. Of course, he did score that. I'm not saying score a quick fire 20 of 10 balls and leave, but the point I'm making is, again, there needs to be a judicious mix of aggression and defense. You can't just defend. You can't just go out. See, again, there aren't that many Pujaras around, because he can literally kind of shut down and then start hitting. But it's very difficult when you kind of bog down.
Yeah. And
I think there's too much chatter. Again, if you just shut out all the advice that's coming your way and just go about playing again with Akshar Patel, again, I know he bowls darts and then the ball spins around. But again, why? My point is, why commit already? If you commit completely, just step down and just defend.
Yeah.
Smother the ball right there.
Yeah.
Easier said than Prakash, easier said than done. But again, it's there need to be intent. There's no just literally kind of like a fly to a flame. You literally walk in and you're just sacrificing yourself. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I hope they've learned a little bit more to read the ball, and I hope we get a little bit more cricket. I mean, I think if India wins the toss, as I kind of hope they do, seeing as they're on a losing streak when it comes to tosses. Yeah, I guess it'll be good to see a good first innings total. It'll be interesting to see how England come out. I'm expecting
to get 100.
Yeah, I mean, someone needs to get on. And I mean, even if I take your point in that, if it's not an exact replica of the first pitch, there's probably some similarities to it. The way they've built the pitch, there's probably some similarities to it. If the batsmen have learned a little bit more to read the ball and read the pitch and perhaps stay in a little bit longer, power score, I think maybe 250, 250, 200, 250 might be a fantastic score. On this pitch, it'll be interesting to see whether England drops Seamer and brings in a spinner. They've only got
I know Joe Root got 5, but it's not going to happen every single day, and then people are just going to take him apart. But he needs a specialist bowler who can at least keep the line going. Again, imagine Dom Bess's kind of confidence. Again, he was bowling decently okay in Sri Lanka. He literally toying with the Sri Lankan batting lineup. But if you just dump him and make him sit, he's seeing the wicket, right? He's seeing it's.
Granted, it wasn't a full strength Sri Lankan side, though. I mean, granted, it wasn't. I mean, they weren't there.
Talking about people who are supposed to play spin, off spinners. Who likes to? Again, to be honest, subcontinental batsmen do not like off spinners. They believe that they're just pie chuckers, for want of a better word. So they're like, you just come and throw the ball and I hit you out. So for him to do that is fine. Again, but you need to give the confidence. The point I see is by spinning is fine, but again, if England were to come out expecting the pitch to be exactly the same, even if it's not, in your mind it is. So you're going to turn it into a demon when it's kind of. I'm really surprised. I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens tomorrow. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hoping. I mean, it's red ball, so I'm hoping Jimmy Anderson stays in the side. And it'll be good if the batting side can last long enough and then Jimmy Anderson can get a bit of reverse swing going. That could be quite interesting to see. Jimmy Anderson over Stuart Broad, I think. Again, that's my preference. I think Jimmy Anderson does better in the subcontinent. I don't have the stats to back it up. It's just a gut feeling I get. And perhaps bringing in Dom Bess for Stuart Broad. That way they still have two. They've got Jimmy Anderson. They've got Ben Stokes who can bowl pace. Medium pace, I guess, and you've got Dom Bess and Jack Leach as your full-time spinners, and Joe Root comes in to supplement a couple of overs here and there. And I think you've got a fairly decent side. I hope Joe Root gets to pick a solid test side for tomorrow and not have to make do with people who are only available. I mean, because there was some reports saying that Ewan Morgan tends to get his A side for every white ball game that he captains, but when it comes to Joe Root, perhaps sometimes because the top players are all being used for the white ball games, and because of the rotation policy and so on, they're not being made available to him. So I really hope Joe Root gets to pick the team that he is very comfortable with. We just want good cricket, man. We just want at least 3 to 4 days of good cricket. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if the test finishes on Sunday. That's fine. Monday we got to go back to work anyway. So
you need to be kind of what? Again, what I see is both teams lack the kind of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar kind of a bowler who can just bowl cutters. You need the Dibley doubles. You're missing all this.
Dibley doubles.
Even Saurav Ganguly would be literally kind of happy to bowl even now. Again, you need those kind of Dibley doublies. So someone who bowls spin but faster than a spinner. Maybe a Kumble.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be good to see. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll be up early tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll see. I'm sure we'll get the updates regardless.
Yeah, we're gonna have people who are kind of living ahead in time. If there are 14 messages, we know not to wake up early.
Exactly.
Probably want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, what we'll do is we'll plan and do 10-15 minute update at the end of each day's play. So every evening we'll put out an episode just for our viewers to share some couch cricketing insight over the fourth test of India versus England.
Good luck.
Very good. All right, Satish. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch up tomorrow.
Take care, Prakash. Bye now.
Bye.